Dan Trudeau here. I'm the VP and Executive Recruiter at PRA USA, and as I've been recruiting over the last 20 plus years, I've been asked for a lot of advice in terms of what career path people should take. They want to know what the next hot field is or what sort of job will have the most stability over the next 20, 30 years. The thing is, there's no great answers to that question. Even if you know what the next hot field is, it doesn't mean that that work is going to be right for you. So I typically answer that question with a question. What do you love doing? Now, one, I know that's a cliche, and there are a lot of videos, here disparaging that notion. Looking down at the idea that you have to find this great passion and follow that passion for personal fulfillment in your career. So let me be clear. One, that's not what I'm talking about. And two, loving your work is important not just for, personal satisfaction, personal happiness, but also for success in the 21st century job market. So if I'm not talking about following this great passion, what am I talking about? I'm talking about loving the day-to-day work that you do. For example, a person's great passion might be playing the piano, but they may find that they wouldn't enjoy the day-to-day life of being a professional musician or even a music teacher. Another example is my brother, who he loved architecture, wanted to be an architect, but as he found out more about the daily life of that field, he switched to civil engineering and has been a lot happier. So now that we've covered what I mean about loving the work you do, let's talk about why it's important for your success. Just follow me on this. Over the last generation, the employment market has changed significantly. It used to be there were a lot of jobs like working manufacturing line, mining or other types of fields that didn't require a strong interest in the work, just a good work ethic. Those days are in the rear view. The world opened up, a lot of those jobs went elsewhere or they were eliminated through industry changes, technology, you name it. And of course, there are still people doing that work, but it does not offer the same level of stability that our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents got to enjoy. Doing well and getting ahead in the 21st century requires specialization, focus, and flexibility. Now, you might ask, what do those have to do with loving my work? Everything. So let's start with specialization. The current economy is a very competitive place, and our specialization is what allows us to stand out and build an expertise that becomes valuable to either our employers or our clients. Now, there are some people who know what their specialization is from early on. They've always known they wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, an accountant, you name it. A lot of us have to figure it out. For instance, I went to school for film production and writing. After school, my life circumstances changed, and I got an opportunity to work in recruiting, and guess what? I found I loved the work of doing it. I loved finding what made the people I worked with tick and, what companies needed and matching the two. I also found I liked working on positions in the electronics field. The technology was endlessly interesting, and so I became specialized in recruiting for electronics positions. It's what's allowed not just myself, but my company to stand out in a sea of other recruiters. It's also a big part of why we've survived recessions that have put a lot of other agencies under. So we find our specialization by discovering and then pursuing the work that we love. This brings us to focus. Think about the hot fields of today. I'm talking finance, technology, medicine, the trades. They're all very competitive, and focus is important to do well in any of them. Without it, you're going to hit a ceiling early in your career. It doesn't matter if you're working for the hottest, most successful company in the world. If you don't love the day-to-day work, how can you maintain focus? How could a software engineer write thousands of lines of precise code, or a doctor diagnose complex symptoms, or a carpenter put up precise structures day after day, if their mind's always drifting somewhere else? They can't. It's impossible. So again, loving your day-to-day work leads to focus, which leads to success. So what about flexibility? Now, everyone knows the world's changing in a quick clip. There are very few jobs that'll be the same 10 years from now as they are today. Because of this, flexibility is important to doing well and moving forward over the decades of your career. And here's the thing. Flexibility is connected to positivity. Think about this. If someone doesn't enjoy their work, they're just grinding it out day after day, you know, they have tunnel vision. They're afraid of things that might change. They keep their heads down so they don't see things coming. On the other hand, someone who loves their work, who pours their heart into it, they're more likely to have their eyes open. They're far more likely to see what's coming down the pipeline and not only see it, because they're not coming from a place of insecurity, they're more likely to adapt and make the changes they need to do to keep current. So again, this is the sort of flexibility you need to do well over the long haul. So there it is. Figuring out what work you love leads you to the right specialty. It keeps you focused in that specialty and allows you to adapt as it changes. It'll allow you to do well no matter what career path you choose. You may know what work you love the day you graduate high school. You may find it in an unexpected direction after trying several things. The main thing is, don't be afraid to get yourself out there to figure it out. It's your key to being both happy and successful. Another thing you can do for yourself is like, share, and most of all, subscribe to the PRA USA channel. In the coming weeks, months, years, we're going to be sharing career advice, answering some tough questions, and responding to the big news of the day. We have the experience to help you get the career you both want and deserve.